Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is got some stories to tell from my dash on today's record date is May 31st, 2025. It's a Saturday, and today was one of these days where it was just challenging. I had, and actually 2 Saturdays in a row. I had, last Saturday was kind of similar. I had to refund items on multiple orders, and today was kind of a little bit stressful. Um, Starting with this order here, this is at 10 o'clock in the morning. I get this offer, $20 less than 10 miles, 25 items. Okay, yeah, I went ahead and took it. Um, Going down to Commercial Point, that's fine. And I had logged in. It's probably about 6:30 this morning, and stayed pretty busy up until this order. Um, get to Meyer at just takes me 5 minutes to get there. I don't. I clicked start shopping before I could get a screenshot of the more items of the list. So I apologize for that. And um, okay, so this order, there was again, like last Saturday, I had the order that had four different things that had either the store didn't have and I couldn't substitute. Like, same thing here. Out of these 20 items, there was like four things. First, there was the little Hostess powdered donuts. They didn't have those. They had a larger size, and so I had to substitute the chocolate donuts was in the approved substitution. There was something else I can't remember offhand, and then this Hawaiian punch you see in the messages here from the customer. It was the like a 6 or 8 pack of small bottles of Hawaiian punch. And then also you see in the customer chat there, lemonade. It was the Milo's tea is what they ordered, which they didn't have. They had everything else there. They had low calorie tea, 0 calorie tea. They had the lemonade. They had all the other SKUs of Milo's except for what the customer ordered. Same thing with the Hawaiian Punch. Okay, you got to be kidding me here. They had like 5 different flavors, but no, not the one the customer selected. Okay, the problem here is I substituted with, okay, folks, here it is, customer approved substitutions. Marked that it's unavailable on each one, took my shelf picture, next screen, customer approved substitutions. The lemonade. Okay, so I scan it, boom, put it in my cart. And the this is irritating to me, so that's why I keep repeating this. I apologize, but for the Hawaiian Punch, the customer approved substitution was Capri Sun. Again, I scan it, put it in the cart, move on. Okay, I get all the way to the front of the store because there's two things that I have to get from the checkout lanes. And right as I'm approaching the front end of the store, I see these messages from the customer. Don't buy the Capri Sun. Is there any other Hawaiian Punch? Also, please return the lemonade. We don't drink lemonade. Okay, so, can somebody explain to me, okay, so why would the customer submit substitutions for items that they don't want to be substituted? Is this making any sense to anybody watching this video? So I sent a message, okay, it's going to take me a minute to get back to the back of the store again. Give me a minute. And I got the couple items from the self checkout, and then I go back to and we're talking clear to the back, from the front of the store to the back of the store. Okay, go clear back to the back. And then customer says, I apologize for the inconvenience. Okay. Next screenshot, I send, now this is the flavors for the Hawaiian punch, lemon berry, fruit juice red, green berry, orange oceans. There's your four choices for the Hawaiian punch. And then I stand there in the aisle for about 2 or 3 minutes, no response. And then I make my way over to put the lemonade back, and then walk down an aisle, and I'm assuming I'm not going to get a reply from the customer, and I get almost back up to the front again and take this screenshot here to show that you see here 5 minutes passed and no response. So I don't know. Now, a couple firsts for me in this order. First of all, I don't think I was trying to think, I don't think I ever remember a time before in 4,000 deliveries where a customer submitted substitutions, and then that's what I got, but then they turned around and said, no, we don't want that. And the lemonade really gets me, because it says we don't drink lemonade. So it's not only is it something that they don't want today, but they never drink it. Okay, so why do you put in a substitution that you never drink? I and okay, so the other first is, so what I decided to do was, you can, for those two items, you can go back into the list and like refund those items. But I didn't want to do that because of my, the shopping stats and everything that I get scored on. And right now I'm not a pro shopper and don't get that extra dollar because of stuff like this. So I'm trying to rebuild the stats. So what I decided to try was, I just checked out with, even though in the my list says that I had those items, that I substituted in my basket, I didn't have them because I put them back on the shelf, and I just checked out with what I had. And then, so obviously the customer's not paying for those items because I didn't check out with them. So they're not getting charged for it. And it still goes down as me finding something for those requests. I just didn't buy them. So, and I didn't know if the app would say anything after I checked out, or, first time I ever tried this. So I checked out with what I had and paid for it, got my receipt, and off I go. Nothing was any different. And then I decided when I got to the customer to take another screenshot here. So I got there at 10:52. So this was, what is this, like 17 minutes later? Because sometimes after I make the decision to go to the register, sometimes the customer will message me then, or when I'm getting out to the car or something, and I miss messages. So I thought I'd check when I got to the customer, and so then I checked again, and then you see here still no response. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. And then so closed out the order at 10:54. So I still made $20 in less than an hour. So, 54 minutes. So from that standpoint, it worked out okay. I don't have the screenshots for this, but just to kind of throw in here real quick, I had another order. This was weird. It said that it asked for, a pin was going to be required, but it was leave at the door. So I got to the customer. It's a totally different order today, but I got to the customer. I sent a message, hey, I'm here for the delivery. Do you have a PIN number? And I didn't want to knock on the door because it was leave at the door. So, and then my wife was with me. She saw the customer start to open their front door. And then, okay, so I go up there. Customer gives me the PIN, but the app's asking for a picture. So I tell the customer, hold on a second, let me take the picture first, which I did. And then the order just closed out and didn't ask for the PIN. And the customer had a PIN, and the app just didn't ask me for it. That was weird. Just another example of how that jacked up this day was. Okay, so what my next Meyer order, 1866, 5.5 miles. You might say, 31 items, but hold on a second. I took a look at the items before accepting this. It was mostly multiples. So everything just about is a multiple. So there was only like four different places I needed to go. I needed to get the duct tape. That was in one spot. Then like all these ratio snacks, that 15 of the items was right there, that one spot on the cold wall. Then the frozen yogurt bars. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the items was those bars. Okay, and then the drinking water. The drinking water out of all of this should have been the easiest thing to find, right? I go back there. There's like 100 gallons of distilled water. There's like 100 gallons of spring water sitting there. What is not sitting there? The drinking water. You got everything again. You got everything else except for what I need in this customer's order. Great, thank you very much. So I had to substitute that. Just irritating. That's like the store not having eggs or milk. I mean, that's something that should be stocked here. Just took like 12 minutes to shop and deliver that. So this took me 33 minutes to make the 1866. That was so I still made good time on that. Um, why did I take this order again? Okay, so 9.50, 3 Mile Dollar General, 6 items. I was able to take a look at the list before accepting it. Why did I take this? I mean, was I a absolute idiot today, or did somebody need to hit me over the head with something, or to wake me up? Or okay, so you got like Dove deodorant, a couple of different types of headbands, Bliss balm, like tricky as can be, only paying not even $10. Why am I bothering with this? But I take it for some unknown reason, get to Dollar General, and it's hit and miss in there. And today was a miss as far as my cell phone service. Didn't have signal in there. I could the and it was so I was still gonna try to be a trooper and I try to stay calm and try to finish things out if I can, but at some point I was just getting too frustrated. I was having to like the deodorant. There was several different ones that I thought it could have been. So I, go to scan it. The phone is slow. I can't. And then I have to basically walk up to the front of the store and almost out the door practically to get a better signal for something to scan and the app to start moving again. And scan one stick of deodorant. That wasn't it. Walk back to where the deodorant is, get another one, walk back up to the front of the store just to scan that. That wasn't it either. Go back. I got like a third one. I finally, I think I had to refund that actually. I scanned all my choices and none of them were it. And then I go to like a headband, same thing. I can't scan it, and I'm just wasting too much time at this point. I ended up dropping this, so there it is. Like you see, 12 minutes late. 12 minutes I wasted in there, and I unassigned. I put in my reason. I put no cell service inside the store. Uh, I wish one of these days that would be fixed. I don't know. But anyway, so here's the Dash summary. I did not make goal today. Um, Kind of shut things down early. I still did 15 deliveries though. And you see here $162 and 6 active hours. So um, I did the 8 hours total dash time. I did have like a half hour pause. At one point, I was just getting like too frustrated, and I paused. I came here, and for my wife to finish, she did the last order with me. Oh, the last order we did was a stacked $30 Meyer, and which I thought would just take like an hour or a little over an hour or something like that. We were in this store shopping for like over 50 minutes. And like I get back out to the car and look at my screenshots and I was like, do you realize we were in there 50 minutes shopping this? And she was like, well, you did have a longer wait at the cash register than what you probably thought you have. So I decided to go to a staff register, and we had a little trouble on a couple of the items, but yeah, I don't know. Folks, it was just a bad day. It's just a bad day. I'm glad it's over. I was, $37 and some change off from goal. That's fine. I kept my sanity, and we'll just dash tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's better. It should be. Drove 134 miles to make the 162. So better than goal, but I wish that was a little bit better. And the other thing to mention here is went over 4,000 deliveries today. So I'm now at 4,001 lifetime DoorDash deliveries. DoorDash again this has been a problem in the past where they show more deliveries for me than what I really had. By my count, I'm at 4,001. They have me at 4014. So, but anyway, that's all I have for now, guys. Like I said, glad it's over, and hopefully tomorrow's better. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again.